Hello, Conduit community. Whether you're a current member or a prospective member, many of you guys know the who, right? You've met Kelly Dolan, you've met Paul Balsher, you've met Jerry Bierman, so you know the who. And if not, we'll be getting some more information out. But today I really want to talk about as you think about the who and the what. I'm making this video for the people that were in attendance at June 6th and those prospective Conduit members that weren't in attendance on June 6th. So who is, myself, Balsher and Dolan. The what is a legacy business. Now think about this. Legacy, the way that we're defining, and words matter, and I think it's really important for us to define the words the way that we're using it. So legacy is something that can be passed on and that is of value, right? So think about that. Legacy, pass on and of value. And so when you think about your business, what I want you to do, and I did this with some folks today, is take a piece of paper and write down what you paid yourself. We're not going to share this with anybody. Write down what you paid yourself over the last 12 months. Write down what your net profit was above and beyond what you paid yourself over the last 12 months. Write down what you anticipate paying yourself over the next 1 to 3 years. What are you going to pay yourself? And what do you expect your net profit to be? And then do the same thing for 3 to 5 years, right? So if you do this, like you're going to have over the next 12 months, the next 24 months, the next 36 months, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. How much are you going to pay yourself? And what do you expect your net profit to be in addition to that? Okay. Now, when you look at that and you say, okay, after 5 years, what legacy adding value am I going to be able to pass on? Now, a couple of us were like, I'm going to go throw up when I do this exercise. But the goal isn't to make you sick. The goal is to give us a reality check to say, hey, if I don't change something, what of value am I going to produce in the next 5 years, right? And so that the what of Conduit is we want to help take that in 5 years and put a 4X next to it, right? So whatever you're paying yourself salary, whatever you're paying yourself, whatever you have left over net profit, put a 4X after that. And I would say after 5 years working with the Conduit tribe, we want to 4X that. Now, it's going to cost you, as you know, individually, it's going to cost you about $5,000, right? For me, over the next 5 years, I'm going to write a check for about $5,000 to be a member of Conduit. But if I could write a check for $5,000 and 4X my salary and my net profit, I'd sign up for that deal, that ROI every day, all day. I was telling some guys earlier, years ago, I went to a car wash and I put $1 in and it gave me 5 quarters. What do you think I did? Frick yeah, I took another $1 and put it in to see if I'd get another 5 quarters, right? Because the return on the investment was substantial. And so I would say to the current members of Conduit and the prospective members, if you always do what you always done, you always get what you got, right? So if you take the next 5 years without Conduit and you're like, hey, I'm building a legacy without Conduit, I'm building a legacy, something of value that after 5 years, it's going to be worth X, and I'm good with that, and you don't need Conduit, I would still argue to consider participating to help some other people do that, because most of us are like, frick, no, that's not where I want to be in 5 years, right? So the who, the what, and the why, I think I just kind of addressed the why, right? So the why is, if I don't change something, what's going to be different in 5 years, right? So if you look at who, what, why, when, we just kind of covered that as well, 5 years. And then the specific how. How am I going to do this? Well, you're going to do some things, right? You're going to over the next 5 years, you're going to write a $5,000 check, right? You're also going to show up for a monthly speaker series once a month for an hour, right? Second Wednesday of the month, you're going to show up for that. And you're going to show up for a 2-hour mastermind group every single month, right? If you want that outcome at 4X, these are some things that I'm talking to myself right now, guys. Jerry, these are things you are going to do. You are going to go to the speaker series and you're going to be engaged, Jerry. You're going to pay attention. You're going to be in the mastermind group. You're going to show up for that, right? We're going to launch those the last week of July. You're going to do those things. When Balsher leads the quarterly half days, you're going to show up and be engaged and take copious notes. Big word for the day. I'm going to take copious notes and I'm going to apply what I'm learning from Balsher's workshop. I'm going to be engaged in December in the full day working with Balsher for 2025. These are things that I'm going to do. I'm going to be involved in these things. And the reason I'm going to do it is because when I look at the next 12 months, if I don't change anything, and I look at the next 12 months, and I look at the next 1 to 3 years, and I look at the next 3 to 5 years, and I take my salary and my net profit, and if I am not creating the value in my business that I want to create, and I take whatever that number is after 5 years, Jerry, and I times it by 4, so that's the goal that I have for a lot of my friends. And you can set your own goals, but I'm saying, hey, look, if you could take your salary and your net profit over the next 5 years, look at where you'll get without Conduit, and then times it by 4x, and that's where you can get from Conduit. And by the way, as we're professionalizing Conduit, we're not going to reveal your name unless you say that we're permitted to reveal your name. But after every year, what I'm anticipating doing is gathering privately the metrics that you say are important to you. In my case, it's going to be net profit and some other things, because I want to create a company that's more valuable every year, something that can be passed, a legacy business that could be passed on that's more valuable. And I 4x it with my engagement in Conduit. That's a great ROI. It's an amazing ROI. And again, if I signed a contract for you guys, I was talking to some guys today, if I brought a contract over and said, hey, take your salary, take your net profit that you're going to build without Conduit, and then all of a sudden with Conduit, do a 4x on that, and that's going to be your return on your investment, frick yeah, I'd take that investment all day, every day. So again, I made this video just quickly to kind of recap what we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks with Conduit members and prospective members.